Alright, what's up guys? So took the car out, made a big old loop around Tulsa. I don't get to drive the car much, even though I really enjoy driving the car. But yeah, so anyways, we're gonna get ready for Honda's Howlet. I have the stock brake pads that came with the Willwoods, which I guess it's supposed to be called like the SP10 or something like that. If I remember that right, it was like SP10 or something like that. So I went ahead and got these, which are the, when you look it up, I guess it's called like the SP45, but this one just says 15045. So on the stock ones that you get, it would say 10 right here. But either, oh, that's what it is, 45 DP. So mine were the 10 DP that are on here now that come with the kit, and these are the 45. So these are supposed to be more race specific, work at a lot hotter heat range. And these ones definitely faded a lot when I was on the track. You know, about 3 hot laps and these things were just, I mean, didn't have much left in them to be able to clamp down. So, I mean, they're definitely not worn down by any means, but they just are not pads that are designed for good track use. So I'm gonna pull these off. I might do like a little tutorial on how to switch out the brakes or the pads. I also did get a tool. I don't remember where I actually put it at. Yep, right here. So I did buy this spreader tool, and this was like, I think it was like $5 or like $6 or something like that on AliExpress. So I wanted to see how well these worked for this specific application, because these are the type of pads that you use them on. Obviously with these pads come out the front, so you undo this Allen head bolt right here, and then you pop this bracket off, and then you slide them out, and basically the pads just come out like that. And then if they're worn down, then you would need to put this spreader in there, spread the calipers, the pistons back out, and then you can just slip back in your new brake pads and go about your way. So it's a lot more user friendly than taking off the caliper and doing a whole bunch of brackets and blah, 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 blah. So I'm gonna go ahead and show how to do that. All right, switch sides over here. So this is a 3/16 Allen head. It's gonna be inside this bracket. It basically holds down this little silver, it's like a safety, it's actually what holds the pads itself, but it's just a little bolt. And then it basically goes on this side. So this bracket right here. So you just pull this over the caliper like that, and then you keep pulling it until you get it all the way to the other side. And then pull it off of that. So this is the bracket that holds the actual pads in there. And then you can pull these pads out of here. Kind of hard one-handed here, but basically pull the pad out so you can see the little bracket holes there. And this is the stock pads that come with it, which are the 10s that I was telling you about. Like I said, they're not worn down. They are still pretty warm from driving around, but they're not worn down, you know, a little bit, but they just suck. So if you're gonna do this, if you're gonna go track these cars with the Willwoods, definitely upgrade the pads before you even go out there, because these pads, I mean, they suck. They faded real fast. So again, you know, even wear, but just crappy pads. So, all right, so I was able to use the tool. I think you're actually supposed to take the caliper off and then use the tool to spread those out. But what I did was I just stuck them in there like this and kind of split the difference on the 2 pistons on both sides. So I kind of split the difference and then just pushed the pistons open just a hair. I mean, it didn't really need much at all. And then I was able to get the pads in there. So Oops, pushed that one a little too far. But anyways, so, you know, once you spread the pistons out, same thing, just put the new pads in, put the bracket on, and then I'll do the reverse on the other side. All right, new pads are in. This side, extremely easy. Didn't really have to do nothing. This side, I don't know why, it was being a little punk. This side was a little bit harder to get the clip back in, which, I mean, you got to line it up with this hole right here, the hole in the pad, the hole in that pad, and then the hole in that too. So it's kind of a punk. All right, and since while I'm in here, I do have, so on this car, there are no bushings left. Everything's been replaced with all the kingpin lowers. So I've got kingpin arms and kingpin compliance bushings, and then PCI uppers, the upper mounts anyways, not the actual arms themselves, but the PCI bushings up there. Obviously everything is really rigid and stiff, but everything moves correctly like it should. It doesn't have any, you know, front or back movement or binding or anything like that from the factory bushings that come in these cars. Nothing to really wear out like that other than the metal pieces. But with that being said, it's always a good opportunity to double check all your bolts. So I went through and checked all the 19s on the back of the caliper, the 17s on the fork and on the arms, the 3 17s up there. Everything was good, everything was tight, but it's always a good idea to check those, especially with the K series. You know, it does rattle quite a bit. You know, it vibrates a lot of stuff, and things can come loose, and man, that would be a bad day, especially going out to the track. So it's always a good idea to kind of double check those things. So I'm gonna do that. I also have, I haven't done them yet. I did it on a different wheel, but I also have my stencils that I had made, and I want to do these, but I don't really have a good white paint. I have some championship white. That was actually one of the spray cans that we use to touch up a couple cars, but it's not real bright white, and I want something that's really bright white. So I'm gonna hold off on that. I might do it, I don't know, I might get a wild hair and maybe do it tomorrow or something like that. But it's a little update on the car. I am gonna take it over to my buddy's shop, YTS, that helps me do some of the things over there, just because we don't have a lift here yet. So I'm gonna put it up on the lift, double check all the bolts again, and then also re-bleed the front brakes. I had an issue at the track the first time we went out. I lost my pedal going into the third round of testing, and not on the track, thankfully, but it did have hardly any pedal pressure before I went out on the track. So I just said, you know, we're done, and went home. But so that was kind of what led me to do the new pads, and also need to re-bleed those, changed all the fluid out. We put .4 fluid in it, obviously. The rear calipers, since they're stock Integra and they're pretty new, those bleed really well and really easy, but the Willwoods, they just don't bleed as easy because you have to use the bleeder ports on top, and they're these small little ports, and when you put them on, you have to do it in a sequence. So you have to do, I believe it's the outside first, and then you do the inside, or it's the inside first, outside. I can't remember how we did it, but either way, these are not the standard size. Obviously, they're a lot smaller. It's a 1/4 inch is what that bolt head is. And it's a real pain in the butt because you can't use the same hose for the front as the back.